Hello, everyone. I'm Justin. I run the data team at Foursquare. I just want to talk a little bit about Foursquare data and some of the interesting things we're doing with it. So maybe I don't know if a lot of you saw this, but a couple of days ago we finally hit 1 billion check-ins, right? So we have a massive amount of data that we're collecting on places that people are going. You can see on this map here, all of the spots that people are checking into, all over the world. So we have this huge, massive data set that we're working with of people telling us, where they're going, and telling their friends and sharing it with it. And we have this rich social network on top of it as well. So if you look at this one event, this is the Marriage Equalitopolis, which is sort of one of those cool events that people create on Foursquare. You can see the interconnectedness of the social network and how things grow virally within our network. And then you can also do some interesting stuff for like analyzing the shouts that people give for the check-ins that they have. So you can see whether people are happy or mad when they're checking in, and actually plot this on the map. So you can find out interesting things about what parts of the city people are interested in. But so if you look at this, you have this huge matrix of people checking in. So you have users and venues, and every one of these points is a check-in, but it's very sparse. So we have this gigantic sparse data set. But what we can do is we can slice this in different ways and look at it, interesting features of this data set. So if you look at hours of the day through days of the week, Thursday through Sunday, you look at like a coffee shop and a lunch place and maybe a place that people get dinner or go to dessert. You can see that it sort of shifts throughout time. And you can actually look at, for any given venue, you look at this curve, and you can actually find this fingerprint of what a venue is like. And you can actually compare two venues. Two coffee shops are very similar if they're, or two venues are very similar if they're sharing this type of curve. So, and then you can look at the check-ins to movie theaters and over time. And actually, we labeled a few of these, but without knowing that they're actually major movie releases or holidays, you can actually see these through spikes in the data set that are coming out. So that's just something you can infer from looking at these check-ins. Where people are checking into venues. So you see each blue dot here is the check-ins for these two streets, and you can actually see that people are mapping out. They're checking in when they're stuck in traffic. They're mapping out our highway system by their check-ins. It's really cool. So taking all of these features, you can actually represent this gigantic sparse matrix and put it onto this very small reduced dimensionality plane. So there's a two-dimensional representation using nonlinear dimensionality reduction of Foursquare employees based on the co-occurrences of their check-ins. And actually, you can find interesting features by doing this as well. So knowing where people live and where they hang out, is very clear in this data set. So I guess, why are we interested in doing all of this stuff? So we've noticed, looking through our data set that, people are not really that, they're not going out and finding new things all the times. They're generally checking into places they've been to before, not going out and exploring their cities as much as we want them to. The median user, the middle bar in this histogram is saying that the median users is checking in 65% of the time to places that they've been to before. And so, it sort of reminds me of this movie that I saw, the Adjustment Bureau, where these guys have this gigantic book of where you're supposed to be going. And the path you're supposed to be taking throughout life. And if you sort of diverge a little bit, they'll sort of correct you and put you back on that path. I think what we want to do is sort of the opposite of that. We know what your path is, but we sort of want to take you and sort of divert you, and give you these diversions or create serendipity in your life. And so that's what we've really been trying to do, build products in that area. And the biggest foray into that is our new product called Explore. Explore is like a discovery recommendation engine, and based on where you've checked in, where your friends have been, and other data that you've given to us, telling us where you want to be, it recommends a place for you to go. You give an intent, and you're standing on any given street corner, and in real time, it'll surface recommendations for where you go. So you say, I want food, and I'm in this area. Based on the time of day and other aspects about your context, it will say, go to this place. And this could be in your neighborhood, or it could be, if you're traveling to a new place you've never been to before. So you travel to San Francisco, and it'll be able to suggest a place that's like your neighborhood coffee shop. So you can actually go to a place that's you'd never discover in other ways using this system. So this is the data team that we have. The 6 of us are working on this stuff. We're really interested in this data. We're constantly trying to find new ways. And if you're interested, we're looking for more people, and we'd love it if you get in touch with us.